Welcome to the Growth Zone. I am Christian Bartsch and I have a really interesting session for you today. So today we have Angela Henderson as our guest. She is a business coach for women, keynote speaker and podcaster who helps women, business owners from around the world to have consistent 5-figure months and multiple 6-figure years without burning out in the process. Her skills were honed at the helm of Finley and Me, where she learned everything from branding, PR, sales funnels, email marketing, websites, copy, SEO, and much more. She knows what it truly takes to have a strong brand, consistent sales, steady growth, and overall dedication. Angela has been featured in media, including Talking Lifestyle with Ed Phillips and David Koch, Inside Small Business, and on numerous Australia and international podcasts. So, our topics. The first will be about the 7 signs you have to look out for when you want to hire a business coach. Then, as a business owner who is struggling in the business, what are some of the questions that you might have in your thoughts? And then as well, how and what kind of difference it makes to have a business consultant, business coach, business mentor, what some of the questions businesses might be asking themselves before you want to hire such a business coach. So, and we'll be talking about all these different things as well, how you can avoid making mistakes by hiring the wrong person to help you. There's quite some dodgy stuff out there, so let's go and dive in. We go. So I've got today with me Angela Henderson from Australia. And you're, I think, based in Brisbane, is that right?
That's correct, Brisbane, Australia.
Cool. It's been quite a while since I've been in Australia. Angela, could you maybe tell us a bit more about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So, first of all, even though I live in Brisbane, Australia, I am a super proud Canadian. And I always say, what is not to love about Canada when we have moose, great beer, hockey, and Pamela Anderson, right? So, I mean, what's not to love about Canada? I also say I'm a huge Nutella fan. I love that stuff. And also, my favorite color is pink with a splash of glitter. So, that's a little bit more fun facts about me. But in regards to the business realm, I'm a business consultant and coach who specifically works with women in business to make sure that they have all the pieces in place to have consistent 5-figure months and then on to 6- and 7-figure years without burning out in the process. And I work with women in business, particularly in 4 realms: my one-to-one consulting, my action taker mastermind, my 12-month group coaching program, Profit Pillars, and I also run Australia's leading 4-day, 3-night women in business retreat. So that's a little bit about me. And I also have my own podcast, the Business and Life Conversations podcast. And at time of recording today, we've just hit our 100th episode. So yeah, I love business. I will talk your ear off probably. But I love anything to do with business. It's just fun. It's fascinating. Each business is so unique, the ability to be able to adapt with different times. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
That's cool because I'm actually a Canada Dry fan. When I was I think in 2018, I was in Toronto on business. My clients kept filling me up with Canada Dry all the time. Eventually,
Yes.
I want to drink something different as well, not just Canada Dry from the morning to the evening.
Yeah, we were actually just in Costco. There's 2 Costcos located here in Australia, and no, maybe 3 now. But anyways, there's one up in Brisbane, and my son said to me, we were just on the weekend. He goes, "Mom, I need a 24 pack of Canada Dry. It reminds me of Canada," and I always giggle. So yes, Canada Dry still lives on.
Yeah, we get that as well here in Germany now as well. Small cans, but they're actually produced, I think, in France or so, which is quite funny, but it's cool. It's a nice thing. Yeah. So before we get into the 7 signs, it's a time to hire a business coach. Can you share with me what the difference is between a business consultant, business coach, or business mentor?
Yeah, so I think, yeah, that's a great question. And I think before we hop into what are kind of the signs that you might need a business coach in order to really help grow your business, both short term and long term, is I do like to strip it back because, in my opinion, people get a little bit confused between what is a business mentor, what is a business coach, and what is a business consultant. In my years, I've been in business now for over a decade now, and in my opinion, there's three really different things. Is if you have a business mentor, they might be really business savvy, but typically those relationships are quite kind of unofficial. You might catch up for at the pub for a drink, you might go and have a coffee or whatever, but it's not really, consistent. It's kind of ad hoc. Again, they kind of really great experience. They may or may not have experience in your particular business or field, but they still bring some great qualities to the table, but it's not consistent. What I find when you're working with a business coach is there's a lot of business coaches, again, with any type of field, graphic designers, even social workers, etc. You've got some good ones and you've got some bad ones, right? But there's a lot of business coaches I find who are just taking a course off the back of a cereal box. They've never actually had a business. They then said that they're a business coach. And a lot of times they're trying to pull information out of the client that they're working with, and then they kind of reframe it and they put that back. There may or may not be a little bit of woo in it, in my opinion, but I feel like, again, a lot of the onus is on withdrawing that from the client, and there's not a lot of advice given from a business coaching perspective. In a business consultant role, what I've seen over the years is that it's more you're coming to someone to advise you and guide you about what those next steps are for the business growth. Yes, there might be a little bit of coaching and trying to make sure that it's not just a one-sided dictatorship, obviously, but a lot of it could be like when my clients come to me, I consider myself 75% consultant, 25% coach. And it's that if people come to me and they're like, what's wrong with my business? They genuinely want to know what's wrong with their business. And so I'll say, listen, your website is not a conversional website. There's no copy on it. There's no SEO on it. There's no call to actions. How are we going to drive traffic? You've got no lead magnets. We're not able to capture anyone in order to nurture them post, being on the website. Then I might say, okay, your social media platforms, we don't have any content strategy. We don't have any marketing strategy. We don't have any sales funnels. So again, I will advise them about what does a sales funnel look like? How is that going to flow on effect for your short-term and long-term growth? And I guide them to do. Now, I'm still getting input from them, obviously, and we're still catering to individual need, but they're getting a lot more, advice and strategic guidance versus a coach might, it can be a little bit wobbly is how I describe it. So that's kind of how I look at a business mentor, a business coach, and a business consultant.
Oh, yeah. Very, very nice. So, as a business owner who is struggling with their business, what are some of the questions you might be asking yourself that could be an indicator you need a business consultant or business coach?
Listen, I think there's a variety of different things, but again, the common denominators that I've seen when it's, signs it's time to hire a business consultant or coach is the number one thing that I see often is that you're not seeing the results that you had expected. So you might be a new or an established business, and that people, you're just not seeing the results that they had expected that they're going to see. So although that business might have a very clear plan and a well thought out goal in place for that vital business growth, they're just not getting the figures that they want. They're remaining quite stuck. They're remaining quite stagnant, and then that's when turning to a business consultant in these times can really help improve in many different areas, such as increasing return on investment, increasing brand awareness, creating a holistic business plan, a variety of other things. So the first sign I believe it's time to hire a business consultant is that you're just not seeing the results that you had expected.
Yeah, I agree, definitely. Because often then they just they keep people busy with tasks that they're supposed to do. They're not really going to help them to take the business to the next level or even just solve the problems that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, after a while, we get all blind because we don't see the problems or we ignore them. So now that we know what the difference is between a business consultant, business coach, or business mentor, what some of the questions businesses might be asking themselves? Can you share with me the 7 signs it's time to hire a business coach?
Yeah. So if we go back to that first sign we just said, that first sign is you're not seeing the results that you had expected. The second sign is that
Mhm.
you're starting to feel a bit overwhelmed. One of the top signs that it is time to hire a business coach is that you're feeling incredibly overwhelmed with your workload, feeling like there's too much to do and not enough time to do it. You may even
Mhm.
be feeling overwhelmed as you do, like you not sure whether or not you're making a big enough profit at the end of the year, or you might be overwhelmed because you're feeling like you're no longer controlling your business. And this is another sign. The second sign that is that, again, you're just starting to feel overwhelmed. Now, the third sign that it might be time to hire a business consultant is you know what you want to do, but you don't know how
Mhm.
to do it. This is something I see weekly with my clients is they have this, you've got a great idea, will help grow your business, but you've got absolutely no idea how to implement it and execute it. A business consultant might be able to help come in here, whether it's helping you launch a new product, launch a new service, rebranding, or entering into a completely new territory. The professional advice from a consultant may help push you that little bit further that you need to move you forward. That's the third sign. The fourth sign that I found is it's a sign that it's time to hire a business consultant is you need a business companion to talk business with. Because, I mean, let's be honest, is that most friends and family don't really care about our business. And they sure as the heck don't want to spend time talking about our business when we're out to dinner with them, when we're out to coffee with them, or when we're at their house. So if this is happening for you, or you're starting to feel a bit lonely in the world of business, you may want to find someone that you can actually talk to without feeling exposed or without impairing your credibility as a business owner. And hiring a business consultant is a safe way to get honest feedback on your ideas, as well as having just that partner in crime to support you through the planning and implementation. So that's number four, the fourth sign that you need to hire a business consultant. The fifth sign that I find with a lot of the clients who start talking to me at the beginning is that they've just lost motivation. For some, losing motivation is almost like a rite of passage when owning a business. Sometimes things seem, to just be going in all the wrong directions, that you feel as though there's no way out. And that motivation is exceptionally difficult to keep carrying on. So again, hiring a business consultant can help you out of that rough patch. They can give you the advice and the guidance and help really to spark that motivation to get your business back on track. The sixth sign that I have found seems to be a consistent kind of thread when it's time to hire business coaches. You want to save both on time and money. There's going to come a time, whether or not you are a new or established business, and one of the main issues that you face me that you need to save on time and money, that you no longer can be the web developer. You can no longer be the SEO guru. You can no longer be the marketing director. And doing things on your own can mean that you're short on both that time and money. So having an outsider perspective, from a business consultant can help you get on the straight and narrow. It really can start going, okay, we need to be looking at your organizational structure. What positions do we need to, put in place? Who do we need to fill these positions on? So that's the sixth sign that it's time to hire a business consultant. And the seventh sign that I found is you're really looking to expand your business. At some
Mhm.
point in your business lifetime, you're going to want to expand. Whether you're a larger business or a one-man band, expanding your business can be a daunting time. It can be exceptionally, frustrating. It can be overwhelming. So this is where hiring a business consultant is ideal, because they'll be able to walk you through all the correct procedures, help mentor you through the process, and help you to really start enabling you to see that incredible ROI. So these are the 7 signs, in my opinion, over the years of doing this, that are kind of signs that if any of you out there are listening, are going, I am expanding my business growth. I'm feeling a bit stuck, or I do want to save both on time and money because I can't keep doing this, or I've lost my motivation. You don't know, what to do, but you don't know how to do it. That overwhelm is creeping in and you're just not seeing the results. There's a reason why the universe is giving you a nudge to say, like, hey, it might be time. And I really find one of the biggest mistakes businesses can make is continuing to try to do business alone. I've always found a direct correlation with positive increase in growth and profit when I'm either paying to be in a mastermind, when I'm paying to get coaching, etc. So again, really be considering what that looks like for you and your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I see that as well because I had over 10 years ago had my own first coach, and that was really great because it really helped to solve problems. Because before I was getting coached by my tax advisor, and after a while I thought, why is the government actually paying these people to actually do this kind of stuff for small medium-sized enterprises when they obviously don't learn anything about marketing or sales or the other kind of stuff at university, and not even in their business
Mhm.
because of certain regulations at tax advice, and it didn't make any sense. And he unfortunately, he really did definitely failed in what he was doing, and he was so embarrassed that he went and got a friend of his to go and start coaching me, who was actually a business coach.
Mhm.
And from then he got every of his clients to get coaching by him, because he then noticed a big difference. And I then eventually always said that I called him like my friend also, Michael, that he always everything he touched he turned into gold. Of
Yeah.
course meant that I had to do the work, but at least after a whole day of coaching with him together, I was exhausted, but I got quite a lot done, and I knew exactly what to do and how to do it, and it
Exactly. And
made a big
sometimes that's all businesses need. So often when I get on, the initial calls with people to see if we're the right fit and if I have this skill set to
difference.
help whatever it is in their business that they're needing, is like I said, they know what they need to do, but they just need some guidance on the how-tos. Everything's jumbled in their head. And once, as our role is when we can go in there and extract that, start putting pen to paper and start formulating, those weekly goals, those monthly goals, turning into quarterly and yearly goals, things just seem to flow a
Mhm.
lot more naturally. And again, a business consultant or coach, your success and your failure is still on you. We can guide you, we can give you strategy, we can help you make connections with people, we can do all that, but if you still
Mhm.
don't take action, that's on you, right? Like, no, there's no business consultant in the world who's just going to make you a millionaire if you take zero action. Like, I've never seen it done, right? So
Exactly.
it's
Otherwise, they
important.
would do it themselves.
Exactly. We'd
Exactly.
all be millionaires if that was the case, right? Very quickly we would be millionaires. And then the other thing that I found though is when you are hiring a business consultant or coach, there's kind of 5 mistakes that are really important for businesses, in my opinion, to look at. And that first mistake is hiring a friend. All right. Like you just talked about your accountant, for example, right? You guys are kind of friends. He really wasn't a zone of genius. But a cardinal rule in business that is too frequently broken, in my opinion, is to never work with friends or family. I know it is
Mm.
tempting. All right. It's a tempting rule to break because when it works, it can be really, really awesome. The issue is that more often than not, it doesn't work. And this can lead to the deterioration of not only your business, your relationship, or both. So, mistake number 1 when hiring a business consultant or coach is hiring a friend. The second mistake that I see is hiring someone with limited connections. And this is an overlooked mistake when hiring a business consultant that a lot of people don't consider. And the thing here is the advice and experience a business consulting gives you can be invaluable, but even more, in my opinion, valuable asset is their contacts. People talk about the quote, your net work equals your net worth. And so you want to be able to tap into whoever you are working with from that capacity to help you with that long term and short term strategy, but also into their connections. Who do they know? What other podcasts might they be able to get you on? Could you do Facebook Lives? Like, can you write a guest blog? Can you do all that? So connections, again, is second mistake I see when people hire a business coaches. They're hiring someone with limited connections. Always look for people who are tapped into other people to help build your own network. The third mistake that I see is not knowing what you want to achieve when hiring a business consultant. Like I get phone
Mhm.
calls all the time, like, I want you as a business coach, but why? I don't know. I just need one. This is a massive mistake because when you're hiring a coach, if you're not being clear on your goals, business call we can't read your minds. Like we're not magic readers. So coming to us with a vague goal of wanting to improve your business overall is not going to yield you the results that you want. So before meeting with a business consultant, make sure that you analyze your business performance and have a look at the areas you specifically want to improve in. This will help streamline the process, saving you time and money. So that's mistake number 3, not knowing what you want to achieve. Mistake number 4 is skipping the background check. You would be
Mhm.
absolutely surprised at how much a quick Google search and Facebook stalk can reveal about a person. Use these tools to your advantage to research the credentials of your potential business consultant or coach you want to work with. Check out their testimonials, see what their qualifications are. Do they have a podcast? Do they have a blog? Where have they appeared? What events do they attend? What is their professional history? Good business consultants and coaches are proud of their experience and expertise. So this information should be readily available some way, somehow. There should be a digital footprint in this day and age, whether or not it's in LinkedIn, Twitter, TikToks, Instagram,
Mhm.
their website. You should be able to find these people. The mistake that I see people make when they call me up and they're like, I paid $25,000 for a business consultant and they left me with nothing. And I say to them, did you do your background? Did you research them? They're like, no, they just promised me these results. I'm like, so that mistake number 4 about not about skipping the background check, that's really about you guys taking responsibility when you're hiring someone. You're still in the driver's seat. You're still going to make the decision, but yet this mistake is happening over and over and over again. And the last mistake that I find when hiring a business consultant or coach that people do is hiring without test driving. All right. You told me before we were recording about the BMW cars that you used to drive around in, right? This is the thing. You don't go into BMW, and you could probably tell me most people don't go into BMW or Mercedes or Land Rover or whatever car it is, right? And go, I want the $100,000 car. Draw up the contract. I don't want to look inside. I don't care what the interior is. I don't care what the gadgets are. Just draw me out the contract and give me the keys. That doesn't happen. All right. People want to know what it is like. So why are people not test driving business consultants and coaches and mentors? Get them on the phone through a discovery call. Make sure that they're willing to give you that time and energy to observe and make sure that they're the right fit for each other. But mistake number 5 is hiring without test driving. People just are doing it. They're signing these $10, $15, $20,000 contracts to work with people, and they've never actually even had a conversation with them before. Huge mistake. So those are kind of, those are the 5 mistakes to avoid when hiring a business coach. 1, like I said, is, hiring a friend. 2, hiring someone with limited connections. 3, not knowing what you want to achieve. 4, skipping the background check. And 5, hiring without test driving.
Absolutely, I agree, because there's so much out there. People are just investing money in wrong things, and that's the same thing with my first coach as well. He then eventually he looked at everything what we were doing, and he said, "Well, this makes no sense. We do it this way properly." And and I didn't pay for the first coaching. And eventually, after we had already fixed quite a lot that had been damaged before, because at that time, my tax advisor had hired someone to practically do his coaching work. And I had like Excel sheet with, I think, 250 tasks that I had to do. And I complained to him. I said, "This is no way I'm going to get this done. No way." And then he decided to get somebody proper to do it. And yeah. And that's why I said my business as well grew 15% every year, consistently for every month compared to the year before as well, which is something that shows then the results, and that really works. But of course, there's plenty out there where you just spend your money and maybe you experience something, whatever, and that's it. It's done. It's not going to help you really move forward. And that's where you see then as well where other results was not. And certain results, of course, you can't always see, because not everybody likes to disclose, of course, that they've made like several millions just because they got coaching from this or that person. Or they might even say, yes, that advice helped me, but I did this and this as well. That was necessary on my own thoughts. That complement, and the whole thing together got me the extra million or whatever in my bank account. And that's, I think, the key thing. But as you said, test driving, they have to test drive.
It has to, but again, so often people are just like kind of wowed by someone, or their Facebook ad was really great, and then they're just like, oh, next thing you know, like they're literally just giving people their credit card without test driving. Test drive people. You can learn a lot when you get on a 30-minute, 45-minute, discovery call with people. You can see their mannerisms, how they work, how they listen, how they don't listen, and it's all those things that are going to really help you to make a better informed decision on whether whether they are or not the right business consultant and coach for you.
Absolutely. And it doesn't matter wherever you are in the world, you can always have them from any place around the world. The key thing is that they need to have the certain knowledge and experience that actually helps you move forward and fits. Because we do as well events in different places. And we did an event last year in summer in Johannesburg, and with my business partner in South Africa, with Dean Graham, and we did as well there an event and did live coaching on stage. We actually showed people what can you do when you have the knowledge of marketing, of sales, of production, logistics, and other kinds of stuff, and combine it. And you have 2 different people actually then looking at one thing and saying, okay, you have this and this problem. What's your business? Asking the questions that really are necessary to find out and understand what the business is about. Because if I have no clue about the business, I can't go and give some proper advice. It's just going to go straight against the next rock or iceberg.
Yep. And I also think that it's important for, business consultants, we don't all have the answer right on the dot, right? And so again, I think it's
Mm-hmm.
important that if you're working with someone to go, hold on a minute, I actually think this is it, but do you mind if I just do a little bit more research before? Like, you should have a large portion of the answers, but sometimes something might just throw you a curveball, and you just got to sit back, do a little bit more research before you give that strategy and move them forward. But I also think it's important for business coaches to understand where their role begins and where their role ends. So if you use the example of your tax accountant, right? He might be, or tax advisor, he might have been a really great tax accountant / advisor, had that really great skill set with numbers, understanding time and your profit margins, etc., right? But in regards to SEO strategy or a conversional website or sales funnels or email marketing or Facebook ads, he was probably shit. He probably didn't have a clue, right? And so I think it is
Exactly.
important where people, like, they understand this is what I can help them with and this is what I can't help them with. But I do see a lot of people in different coaching firms think they're all of those things, right? And unless you've genuinely been trained in those, like, I've worked really hard in the last decade with both of my businesses. I used to have, my first business was an e-com business with 1,400 different products we had. And, I made it my business to understand SEO, website, all of that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Now, am I going to be the one that does your website as a business coach? No, but I can look at your website and go, these are the things that are wrong. We need to talk to a web developer. Your SEO, these are the things that are wrong. This is who's going to do it. I'm never going to do the doing, but I believe a good coach needs to be able to look at the holes of a business and understand how we fix those holes to make sure that, again, they're laying the foundations they need to grow and scale up
Mm-hmm.
accordingly.
Absolutely, I see the same thing as well with what we've done as well in the past. And in the end, you have to guide them, show them what's right, what makes sense, and keep them as well away from things that are other shiny objects that actually distract them.
Yes.
Or they just run from one side to another. Like another person once said, if you've got one coach, focus on that one, get the whole thing done, get the stuff fixed that you need this person for, because that person has their expertise in a certain area.
Mm-hmm.
And then get the other coach that can fix the other issues in other areas where the one maybe isn't covering, because none of us can cover everything 100%. We can maybe give here and there some certain advice. At a certain point, there's a point where we say, okay, that's now outside of my area, but maybe Tom or Dick or Harry or Peter or whoever might ever has the experience in that, knows the stuff and can help you, and that makes then more sense, other than just going to just clock in hours, consulting hours, and then deliver garbage.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that.
No, not at all. No one wants that.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to be able to see results.
Exactly. So it was great having you here on our show, Angela.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, it was great. And I hope people have enjoyed the content and are going to get some good insights and thoughts. Where can they actually reach you if they'd like to have a chat with you?
Yeah, absolutely. The best place, I always say, is depending on how you like to consume information or what it is that you're, needing, is obviously we do a weekly business blog over at angelahenderson.com.au. My weekly podcast, the Business and Life Conversations podcast, is also released on the website that you can grab. But again, if you're looking at, really needing some overall strategy for your business, and you either need some one-on-one support or want to join a mastermind, etc., then I would just say head to angelahenderson.com.au. Also, click on the Work With Me button, and from there you can just schedule in for a 30-minute discovery call where, again, we can really look at your long-term and short-term goals, what struggles you're having, and how I can help you as a business consultant to move you forward. So yeah, head to angelahenderson.com.au.
That's great. Thank you very much.
No worries. Thanks so much for having me. You have a fantastic day.
You too. Well, that's all for today's episode of The Growth Zone. Thank you for listening. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast on iTunes or Spotify so you never miss an episode. Plus, if you haven't got your signed copy of the marketing book, stop by on our website at book.prmediareach.com and hurry because the reserved batch of signed books are almost sold out. So, the address is book.prmediareach.com. I'll repeat, book.prmediareach.com.